Hello again, everybody. Jim Hickey here, coming at you this time from my home-based businesstips.com blog. This actually little tutorial is being prepared in order to help people understand the difference between free blogging platforms where the blogging software is already installed on it and self-hosted blogging platforms. And the most common one you'll hear about in that regard when you've got self-hosted blogs is usually WordPress. Okay. Now there are some advantages to both of these. Obviously, the free sites where the blogging software is already installed for you, and all you've got to do is go in and learn how to sign up and learn the ins and outs of how to use it and get the basic setup going, and then posting content is relatively straightforward. So that's appealing to many beginning bloggers. One problem, however, is that those sites typically don't have the power that a self-hosted blog will have, especially when you get a little bit of assistance getting it going, learning about things that are called plugins, and because they can give you a lot more flexibility, definitely a lot more power with respect to things like search engine optimization, being found by search engines and things like that. Far more flexible. Anyways. What's actually showing on my screen right now is one of the two more common free blogging platforms. Again, the software is already installed. All you have to do is get signed up, learn the ins and outs of using it, getting your initial blog set up, and you're off to the races. This one is a site called Blogger. It's actually a Google system. Okay, so it's owned and operated by Big Brother Google. All right. And if you have a Gmail account of any sort, you can actually go right in today, enter your Gmail account. Here we go. Your Gmail, email address and password for that account. Sign in. The next screen will actually take you to the point where you can create your own blog and get things going. Okay, it's as easy as that. I'm not going to go through those steps right now. That's something I'll do in the future. This post or this tutorial is really in support of a page that's on my home-based business tips blog site that actually talks about building your own website and talks a little bit about Blogger and the difference between Blogger and WordPress, self-hosted sites, etc. Okay, so that's what this is all about. Okay, so Blogger is one of those free sites where the blogging software is already set and ready to go. Now, it just so happens that there's also a site called WordPress.com. Okay? Not to be confused with the WordPress blogging platform. Although the WordPress blogging software has actually been installed on this site. Okay? So they're providing the hosting for you. The software is already in place. Once you get signed up, establish your blog name, go in and learn the ins and outs of the basic foundation of a WordPress blog and how to work with it on this site, you can start posting content and you're off to the races. There's no cost associated with that. Okay. This software that's installed on this site is the same software that you would have installed on your own host site. Okay. But having your own host site with your own domain name, your own control over what's going on there, and the flexibility you get and the power you can get by some of the customization you can do on your own WordPress installation, okay, is even more powerful than what you could get through one of these sites, through either Blogger or WordPress.com. Okay, so when you hear WordPress, you may hear WordPress.com. That's your free site. The software is already installed for you. You just have to learn to go in and work with it and start posting stuff. Okay. Another site, WordPress.org, is actually where you can get the WordPress software. Okay? Now, the old way of accessing the software is you'd go here, you'd download it onto your computer, okay? You'd then upload it with something called an FTP program onto your host site, and then go through some steps to get it installed. It just so happens that many of the host providers now, host providers like HostGator, for instance, actually have tools on their sites that actually expedite the installation of the WordPress system where you don't have to go through the steps that I just described. So it makes it even easier. Okay. The advantage here is, this is fully customizable by you. Okay, you can pick your own themes. You're not limited to the themes that they give you on WordPress.com, for instance. You can go out to the net, find other themes, or you can pay somebody to build one if you're really into it. You can also usually have better access to widgets than you might have available on the WordPress.com pre-installed version. And you have the ability to put in things called plugins when it's your own site. That gives you even more power, more flexibility. It's a lot to understand, a lot to take in right now. I'll do other tutorials in the future that'll actually explain some of this so you can get a big handle on it. But believe me, getting the WordPress software installed on your own self-hosted blog is far more powerful and flexible than either of the two issues I showed before. There's one other problem with going one of the free sites. Now, I've had a free site on WordPress.com before, and because I accidentally actually went in and modified some things in a couple of posts, made some changes to one of my pages, and forgot that I had a couple of links in there in other posts, and put a couple more in there. Somehow WordPress.com picked up on it, thought I was over spamming or trying to abuse Google or something in doing that. It was an oversight on my part. They terminated me. No warning, no nothing. I didn't meet some obscure language in their terms of service, and I was gone, and I had no recourse. Other than the fact that I had that content somewhere else, and that actually inspired me to do my first self-hosted WordPress site on my own host account, just so I didn't have these problems in the future. This can be particularly important for people who are doing marketing, because sometimes you might get a little more aggressive than a site like WordPress might like you to be in your marketing campaign, and poof, all of a sudden you're gone. I'm not the only one this has happened to. It happens quite frequently, so you got to be careful of that. My thought is to, again, learn the ins and outs of getting a WordPress system, the WordPress software, installed on your own host account. Okay? And here's an example of where I've done that. Here's one of my sites, the Home-Based Business Tips blog. Okay? And as I said, this tutorial is about to end up on this blog, basically supporting this page, Build Your Own Website. And if you come to my blog, homebasedbusinesstips.com, click on the Build Your Own Website. This gives you a little, verbal discussion of what I just talked about. It basically talks about Blogger versus a self-hosted WordPress blog. But when you get down to the bottom here, it actually goes to the point where it talks about getting domain names and getting that all set up. Gives you, links out to the hosting account to get that set up. And then the easy installation of a WordPress blog, and basically getting the basic blog set up so you're ready to start posting content and getting your word out there to the masses. So I hope you found this useful. Again, more blogs and some of the specifics of dealing with things like plugins and whatnot, and even how to set up some of those free accounts. They're coming in the future, so keep your eyes open. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.